What's up, losers? How we feeling today? Have any of you ever fallen in love? Have any of you ever got to experience the emotion of falling in love with another person? For those of us that haven't, we've all wanted it. We've all wanted to find our soulmate, someone that we can connect with on a spiritual level, someone that loves us, that cares for us, that lusts for us, that thirsts for our blood, that desires to devour our sweet flesh. In November of 2008, the world was taken by storm with the release of the newest blockbuster hit, Twilight. Now, I remember when this movie first came out. I was in middle school. The entire year of 7th grade was nothing but Twilight everywhere. I could not walk in a single hallway without seeing one of them damn Team Edward t-shirts. And let me tell you, when I was a kid, I ripped Team Jacob loud and proud, mainly because all of the girls were Team Edward for whatever reason, and because I was a boy, it was cool to do the opposite of whatever the girls did. And just like every other cool boy in 2008, I actively refused to watch even one singular second of this movie. However, the times have changed. I am now a fully grown, fully functioning adult man. And boy, do I have a lot of things to say about this movie. I used to never understand why this movie had such a crazy and obsessive fan base, but after watching it for the very first time about 4 days ago, it all makes sense. So the movie starts off and we get to meet the main character of the series, Bella Swan. She's originally from Phoenix, where she lived with her mom and stepdad. Mom and stepdad are unfortunately moving out of Arizona and moving to Florida, so naturally, like any other normal human being, Bella would rather live in literally any other state. She decides that she's gonna go move with Pops up in Forks, Washington.
So, I can't bring myself to regret the decision to leave home. I would miss Phoenix. I'd miss the heat. I would miss my loving, erratic, harebrained mother. And her new husband.
Guys, come on, I love you both. We got a plane to catch.
The single worst thing about Arizona is literally the heat. And you gonna look me in the eye and tell me you gonna miss the heat, Bella? I've seen videos of dudes literally cooking eggs outside in the beautiful Arizona sunshine, and you gonna tell me you gonna miss that, Bella? We are already off to a terrible start. After a long and awkward car ride home with Dad, Bella finally arrives back at her old childhood house. This is also where we meet Billy and Jacob. Jacob and Bella used to be childhood friends, and as a welcome home gift, Jacob's family gives Bella this new truck. The truck's a total piece of shit, but Jacob and Bella have this little cute moment inside of the truck, and all is well and dandy. Fast forward a little bit, and Bella pulls up at her brand new high school.
My first day at a new school. It's March, middle of the semester. Great.
Nice ride.
Thanks.
Literally, as soon as she pulls up, she immediately starts getting absolutely cooked by that rusty old Campbell's tin can that she likes to call a car. It's always been so funny to me when I see this type of thing happen in movies, because, like, does this thing actually happen in real life? Do people actually get flamed in high school for driving a rust bucket? I don't know about y'all, but I went to public school, so it was a flex just for you to even have a car. If you was walking or you took the bus, you wouldn't dare try to comment on somebody else's car that you was not driving. Nice fucking car, loser. Walk to school, Billy. You walk. Do not have a car. Your father is a struggling drug dealer and your mother is a spiraling alcoholic. Your rent hasn't been paid in 3 months and your electricity was turned off 2 days ago. You have to steal people's lunch money just to afford to eat. You are at risk of homelessness, and this is also where we get some very strange introductions for the people who eventually become her friends. Eric, who really wants to put her into a newspaper. Mike, who falls madly in love with her at first sight. Jessica, that immediately says something racist.
Aren't people from Arizona supposed to be, like, really tan?
And Angela, unconsensually taking pictures of people. This ragtag band of misfits is just casually having lunch when enter in the Backstreet Boys.
We're talking Olympic size.
There's no way, he's so skinny. Doesn't make sense.
Totally.
Who are they?
The
Collins. They're, Dr. and Mrs. Collins' foster kids. They moved down here from Alaska, like, a few years ago. They kind of keep to themselves. Yeah, because they're all together. Like, together.
Let's see what we got here. They're from Alaska. They are one big happy foster family, but every single one of them is in a romantic relationship with each other. This is a cult.
Who's he?
Edward. This is where we meet the third star of the movie, and he enters in doing what he does best, staring at people. Now we're in biology class, and I just want to quickly say that this is probably one of the most insane scenes in the entire movie. It starts with Bella walking in, and Edward is staring, and then Bella sits down, and he's still staring, and there's a dick. And he's still staring. And apparently Bella smells so bad that Edward's gotta skedaddle out of there as quickly as he possibly can. Shortly after class, Bella goes back to the office and she runs into Edward, and I bet you can't guess what Edward's gonna do next. He stares at her. At this point, I knew that throughout the entire duration of this movie, Edward is just gonna do nothing but stare at me. And it's gonna do nothing but just piss me off the entire time. Eventually, we see Bella at a diner with her pops enjoying a nice, delicious meal, and we get to meet Butt Crack Santa.
You remember me? I played Santa one year.
Yeah, Waylon, she hasn't had a Christmas here since she was 4.
I bet I made an impression, though, didn't I?
You always do.
Butt crack Santa?
Hey, kids love those little bottles, though.
All right. Let the girl eat her garden burger with.
Do you remember me, Bella? I'm Butt Crack Santa. Do you remember me? Do you remember me, Bella? You sat on my lap. I'm Butt Crack Santa. You sat on Butt Crack Santa's lap. Do you remember me, Bella? Later that night, Bella's in bed and she's talking on the phone with her mom.
I miss you.
Oh, baby, I miss you too. But tell me more about your school. Now, what are the kids like?
Are there any cute guys? Are they being nice to you?
Well, Mom, somebody made fun of me for the car that I drive, somebody else called me Mrs. Wonderbrand, and this really cute boy that I like was so repulsed by my presence that he had to run out of class and drop out of school.
They're all very welcoming.
Bella then eventually just becomes completely obsessed with Edward and that weird staring thing that he does. She like stays up all night dreaming about this dude. Every single day she goes to school, she's checking to see if he's in class. She's waiting on him. And I'm just sitting here thinking, what am I doing wrong? This dude has a beautiful girl wrapped around his finger, completely obsessed with him. And he did absolutely nothing but stare at her for 45 minutes straight. But when I do it, I end up having a conversation with the police. What is the difference? Ladies, is it working? Are you in love with me yet? One day Bella goes back to school and finally, yay, Edward is back. Still staring.
Hello. I'm sorry I didn't get a chance to introduce myself last week. I'm Edward Cullen.
You were gone.
Yeah. I was out of town for a couple of days. Personal reasons.
So Edward finally decides to introduce himself. He finally decides to muster up some courage, grow some balls, and talk to the new girl at the school. And for some reason, he is so nice that it like creeps me out. I don't know what it is, but it's just the way that he talks and his tone makes me really uncomfortable. I get like shivers down my spine and I just don't feel right, dude. At the end of the day, school's out, everybody's getting ready to go home, and then disaster strikes. Oh no! Tyler's van is going out of control! Bella is going to die! If only Batman was here to swoop in at just the right moment and save the day! Oh, there he is! And he's still staring. After the accident, Bella ends up at the hospital for just a quick checkup, and this is where we meet Carlisle, who is the OG vamp, the Playboy Cardi of the Cullens. Bella eventually stumbles upon Carlisle and Edward talking in the hallway, and she decides to confront Edward and ask him how the hell she was able to save his life. This dude, Edward, then proceeds to completely gaslight this woman.
How did you get over to me so fast?
I was standing right next to you, Bella.
Bella is straight up like, dude, Edward, how the hell did you get to me so fast? And Edward's like, dude, what the hell are you talking about, Bella? I was literally standing right next to you. And Bella was like, dude, no the hell you weren't. Literally we're standing right next to your car across the parking lot. And Edward was like, dude, literally no. You hit your head and you are losing your mind.
How did you get over to me so fast?
I was standing right next to you, Bella.
No. You were next to your car. Across the lot.
Bella, you hit your head. I think you're confused.
And he's not done yet. He's still not done. He then follows it up by literally telling Bella, do not fuck with gang.
Can't you just thank me and get over it? You're not gonna let this go, are you?
No.
Well, then I hope you enjoy disappointment.
I'm sorry, but what the hell does she see in this dude, Edward? What the hell does she like about this dude? He has done nothing but stare at her the entire time that they have known each other. He has these weird mood swings and has just attempted to gaslight her. Plus, his name is literally Edward. I don't understand how this dude is winning so much. The next day, the class goes on a field trip to a weed farm. The teacher drinks some poop water, and Bella declines Mike's invitation to prom. We take a brief stop at home for the night, and then the very next day, we're back at school. And oh look, it's Edward! And he's still staring at me. Once again, this dude, Edward, looks Bella dead in her face and says straight up, you need to stay away from me.
I only said it'd be better if we weren't friends, not that I didn't want to be.
What does that mean?
It means if you were smart, you'd stay away from me.
So then, of course, Bella, being the logical and reasonable person that she is, making very rational decisions for herself, decides to invite him over to the beach.
Hang out. Everybody's going to the beach. Come. I mean, have fun.
So they go to the beach, and they just so happen to run into Jacob and a couple of his boys.
Guys, this is Jacob.
Hey guys, how you doing?
Hi.
You like stalking me?
You're on my res, remember?
Edward very obviously doesn't show up and just leaves Bella hanging. I'm sorry, but I don't know how she didn't know that this was coming. How did she not know that his moody, mysterious, staring ass was not gonna show up at no damn beach? Jacob basically tells Bella that the Cullens don't ever come around on this side of town. Then he starts to tell the story about the history. To make a short story short, basically, Jacob's gang, they're the werewolves. And Edward's gang, they're the ops. And the werewolves found the ops spinning the block in their hood. So the werewolves and the Cullens made an agreement that they wasn't gonna be spinning the block in each other's hoods, or the werewolves were gonna snitch on the Cullens to the feds. I guess this is sort of the whole origin story between the beef between the werewolves and the vampires, but I'm still a little confused because I don't really know what necessarily happened, because all I really know is that the vampires were hunting on the grounds of the werewolves. So I don't know if it's just because they were in op territory why they were beefing, or if it goes a little bit deeper, but that part hasn't really been clear for me. And now we get an update on our favorite butt crack Santa.
Mama said didn't know how to make a kitty meow.
I just want to take a second to say that if this woman was staring me in my face and I knew that these were my last moments on this beautiful planet, I just want to let you know that authorities would find my body with the biggest smile on its face. Because if I am going to die, I would gladly allow it to be at the hands of this woman.
Nice jacket. James, let's not play with our food.
Hang on now.
The next day, Bella goes with her friends to go shopping for prom dresses, but Bella's not having that great of a time. She's like, nah, I ain't fucking with this lame shit. I'm about to go find me a book or something, gang. So she goes off to a bookstore and buys some weird, mysterious book. Unfortunately, on her way home from the bookstore, Bella runs into a little bit of trouble.
Hey, where you running to? Oh, there she is. What's up? Girl, how you guys doing? What's up, girl? Hey, whoa. Where are you going? Where are you going? Come get a drink with us. Hang out with us. Come on. It's fun. What's the problem? It's like that, man. You're pretty.
Don't touch me.
Cute. Really.
Oh no! Bella's in trouble! If only Batman was here to swoop in at just the right time and save the day!
Get in the car.
Oh, there he is.
That was a very dangerous maneuver.
And we all know when Batman is ready to fight some crime and serve some justice, he does what he does best. Stare at them. Now, I don't know if this dude Edward just has some additional superpowers inside of his eyes, but he's got one of the most powerful stares I have ever seen in my entire life. He has hypnotized a human being, and he has scared off a group of very nasty and vile thugs. This man is very powerful. After the altercation, Bella and Edward go out on a little dinner date where Edward drops an absolute bomb.
So you followed me.
I was trying to keep a distance unless you needed my help, and then I heard what those lowlifes were thinking.
Wait. You say you heard what they were thinking? So what, you read minds?
I can read every mind in this room, apart from yours.
You know, it's very dangerous and risky to just read random people's minds in a crowded space, because you could end up in the wrong place at the wrong time very, very easily. All it takes is for you to just get on a subway and sit down and start reading minds, and you get to a motherfucker like me, you start reading my thoughts, and you wondering why the hell I'm spending my free time sitting on a train at 2:30 in the afternoon debating on which life would be worse, having fingers the size of legs or legs the size of fingers. I have spent the past 20 minutes on this train mentally crunching the numbers, trying to decide how truly different the quality of life is under both of those circumstances. For those of you wondering, fingers the size of legs is significantly more difficult than legs the size of fingers. The date basically continues with them just continuously staring at each other, obviously. Then, as they're on their way home, they stumble upon the scene where Butt Crack Santa was brutally slaughtered. At home, Bella uses that weird, strange book that she got, good old AskJeeves.com, and starts doing some research to try to figure out what the hell is wrong with this dude, Edward. After putting all of the pieces together, his cold, pale skin, his super speed, his unfathomable strength, and his beaming, glowing eyes, Bella finally figures out what Edward truly is: a meth addict. Now I want to ask, what would you do if you found out the boy that you had a crush on was an evil, demonic, bloodthirsty vampire. I have a great idea. Let's confront him about it. And you know what? I have an even better idea. Let's bring him deep into the middle of the woods, alone, by myself, where nobody can hear my screams if something goes awry. Let me isolate myself in the middle of nowhere, with no contact with the rest of civilization, staring in the face of a being that wants to do nothing but rip my esophagus out with his bare hands. But you know what? That's not all. Oh no, because Edward drops another bomb.
How old are you?
17.
How long have you been 17?
A while.
This man is a senior citizen. Bella, what the hell are you doing? So after all of that, Bella finally admits out loud that Edward is a
vampire.
And for whatever reason, she is still not scared. So this dude Edward's like, I bet. So he grabs her by the arm, throws her on his back, and just... They get to the top of the mountain, and Edward is ready to show her why the vampires cannot go out in the sunlight. At this moment in the movie, I was on the edge of my seat, using my past knowledge and expertise of the undead, specifically the vampire kind. Usually, when a vampire steps into the sunlight, their skin starts to boil, their body starts to smoke like a barbecue chicken, and they just combust into flames and die. I was fully expecting Edward to step into that light and start cooking himself like a rotisserie ham. You like this, Bella? Is this what you wanted to see?
This is what I am.
It's like diamonds.
But no. Of course, he had to be lame. His skin is a bust down made entirely of VVS diamonds, dude. It is at this part where my patience with Bella had officially run thin.
I'm a killer. I'm the world's most dangerous predator. Everything about me invites you in. My voice, my face, even my smell. As if you could outrun me! As if you could fight me off. I'm designed to kill.
This man just stared Bella directly in her face and said, yeah, I want nothing more than to brutally slaughter you. I desire nothing more than to drink your sweet and precious blood and chow down and munch on your absolute bussin' human flesh. So of course, Bella follows it up with the most reasonable and logical response.
I don't care.
I've killed people before.
It does not matter.
Excuse me? And then Edward tells her this.
I wanted to kill you. I've never wanted a human's blood so much in my life. But it's you. Your scent. It's like a drug to me. You're like my own personal brand of heroin.
I'm done. This dude Edward just admitted that he is a heinous, violent, demonic, bloodthirsty being that wants to do nothing but brutally slaughter Bella and harvest all of her internal organs like it is a Christmas buffet. He cannot get away from her. The scent of her blood is like a drug, and he's never wanted human blood more than anyone else, and Bella still falls in love with this dude. This series, this Twilight saga, is just going to be a series of Bella making poor decisions.
About 3 things I was absolutely positive. First, Edward was a vampire. Second, there was a part of him, and I didn't know how dominant that part might be, that thirsted for my blood. And third, I was unconditionally and irrevocably in love with him.
Yeah, Bella, that makes perfect sense. I, too, want to fall in love with somebody who is 175 years old, has admitted that they want to brutally slaughter and eat me, and will not stop staring at me. I agree with you, Bella. We are on the same page. So now Bella and Edward are officially a thing. They're officially public. They finally pull up to school together as an official couple. Eventually, Edward brings Bella over to his house, and we finally get the formal introduction into the rest of the Cullen family. We get to meet Esme, who is welcome to bite my neck whenever she pleases. Rosalie, who is also welcome to bite my neck whenever she pleases. Emmett, Alice, who I will gladly allow to rip a large chunk of my esophagus out of my body and suck every drop of blood out of my body until I look like a deflated hot air balloon. And Jasper, who gives me the heebie-jeebies. It's then followed by a brief scene of that girl vampire from earlier running away, and then a scene in the diner of her dad explaining the investigation into the recent murders that have been happening in the town.
Yeah, we found a bare human footprint, but it looks like whoever that is headed east, so Kitsap County Sheriff's gonna take over from here. Okay?
I just hope they catch him fast.
Later that night, Bella is back on her bed talking to her mom on the phone again.
I'm really liking Forks.
What?
Forks is growing on me.
Could a guy have anything to do with that?
Well, yeah.
I knew it. Tell me everything. What is his job? Indy? I bet he's smart. Is he smart?
Mama, can I talk to you later?
Come on, we gotta talk boys. Are you being safe?
What the hell is wrong with this dude, Edward? Why is he just constantly invading people's personal space and has absolutely no respect for people's privacy? You keep staring at people, and now you just breaking into people's houses uninvited. What the hell is wrong with you, Edward?
I like watching you sleep.
I unfortunately will not be able to describe what happens in the rest of the scene because my mom was covering my eyes as I was not allowed to watch that. The next day, Edward invites Bella to go play baseball with his family. And if I'm gonna be honest, this baseball scene was probably the dopest scene in the whole movie.
Okay, now I see why you need the thunder.
Now, I know we were all actively enjoying that sick-ass baseball scene, but unfortunately, it was rudely interrupted by Destiny's Child.
Stop!
They were leaving, then they heard us.
Let's go.
It's too late.
Get your hair down.
Like that'll help. I can smell it from across the field.
This is the first standoff that we get from the main protagonists and the main antagonists of the movie, and we also find out that Destiny's Child are actually the ones responsible for all the killings that have been going on in down, including the one for Butt Crack Santa. After a little bit of talk, after a little bit of tension, after a little bit of negotiation, they decide that they're gonna have like a rivalry baseball game, Red Sox, White Sox type of deal. Destiny's Child versus the Backstreet Boys in an epic game of baseball. That is, until this happens.
You brought a snack. A human? The girl is with us. I think it best if you leave.
What's up? You don't want these problems. What's up? Now this officially kicks off the main conflict of the movie, the final climax. Edward and Bella are officially on the run trying to save her life. James is on they ass coming for they cheeks and they have no time left to spare. They quickly pull up to Bella's house so she can grab the couple of things that she need and then she dipped the hell out of there and she flamed the hell out of her dad on the way out.
Bella, come on, I just got your back.
Yeah, and you know, if I don't get out now, then I'm just gonna be stuck here like Mom.
I just want to say, at this point in the movie, her dad is the real victim in all of this. First of all, his wife left him, okay? He's got a boring, dead-end job as the sheriff of Forks, Washington. So because of that, his wife left him and took his daughter with him. And then, finally, he gets his daughter back, who just decides to finally leave because he's a sheriff in Forks, Washington. And she don't want to live a boring life just like Mom. And now his life is also in danger just because he's related to somebody who decided to start beef with a bloodthirsty vampire. The dad is the real victim in this. I'm praying for him. So we pull back up at Edward's house and hey, look, it's Beyonce. So after finding out that Team Rocket isn't going to stop until they catch Bella like a Pokemon, they plan to kill James in the most humane way possible.
We'll tear him apart and burn the pieces.
During this whole fiasco, Bella gets another call from her beautiful, loving mother.
Hey, Mom, I'm glad you got my message. What are you doing home?
Bella, where are you?
Calm down, everything's fine.
Bella!
I'll explain everything later. Mom, are you there?
Forks High School doesn't protect its students' privacy very well. It was just too easy for Victoria to find your previous address.
Don't touch her! Don't just...
You can still save her. But you're gonna have to get away from your friends. You handle that.
Great, Bella. Now, not only are you in trouble, not only is your dad in trouble, but your loving mother, her life is also at risk as well. All because you decided to fall in love with some pasty white boy with a sharp jawline and even sharper teeth, Bella. I hope you're happy. So Bella finally makes it to her old ballet studio where she was told to go to save her mother. She's confronted by James, who, for whatever reason, decides to just get really creepy.
Sorry. No, but you really made it too easy. So, to make things more entertaining, I'm gonna make a little film of our time together. I borrowed this from your house. I hope you don't mind. Okay. And... action.
Of course, Bella tries to escape, but she's no match for James's superhuman vampire abilities.
Tell Edward how much it hurts. Tell him to avenge you. Tell him. Tell him.
Oh no! Bella is in danger! If only Batman was here to swoop in at just the right time and save the day. Oh, there he is. Still staring. And now, finally, we get an epic fight scene between two superhuman creatures.
You're alone. 'Cause you're faster than the others. But not stronger. I'm strong enough to kill you.
I've been waiting the entire movie for two of these dudes to throw down, dude. I was waiting for a vampire and a werewolf to scrap, a werewolf and a werewolf, a vampire and a... I didn't care who was throwing down, dude. I was just trying to see somebody get their shit rocked. During this fight scene, James still finds a way to bite Bella on her arm like he's an 8-year-old with 3 silver teeth. This infuriates Edward so much that he channels the inner spirit of one of the greatest fighters we have ever seen as humans, Mike Tyson, and bites bro's ear right off his head. And just at the right time, the rest of the gang pulls up to get this mess all cleaned up, dude. Obviously, as we saw from earlier, the only way to get James to stop wanting to kill Bella is to just kill James. So they proceed by doing it in the most humane way possible.
Get the floorboard! Alice! Alice, go.
Edward now has to make the very tough decision to suck the poison out of Bella's arms. This could go very, very badly. It might not even work.
Gotta make it go away.
Edward, stop. Her blood is clean. You're killing her. Edward. Stop. Stop. Find the will.
Ladies, this right here is proof that sucking out the poison does work. So the next time that I ask you if we go on a hike and a snake reaches up and bites me on my science lesson, will you suck out the poison to save my life? You now cannot tell me that sucking out the poison will not work, because as we have just seen here, it very clearly does work. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. After all of that fiasco, after all of the shenanigans, all of the tomfoolery that Bella has got in, she finally wakes up in the hospital with her beautiful, loving mother by her bedside.
What happened? Well, when you fell, you broke your leg. And you lost a lot of blood. You don't remember any of this, do you? Edward came down with his dad to try to convince you to come back to Forks. So you went over to their hotel, then you tripped. And you fell down 2 flights of stairs. Went through a window.
See, falling downstairs and through a window is a pretty solid story, but it doesn't answer the question on how Bella got a ginormous, gaping, human teeth bite mark across her forearm. Oh yeah, dude, as soon as you fell down the stairs and you crashed through that window, a hungry homeless guy thought you were dead, so he wanted to give himself a little snack, so he decided to run up and bite you on your arm, and you realized that you were alive, so he ran away. Edward is also at the hospital there, and he tries to explain to her, hey Bella, look at everything that you have been through, everything that has happened to you, everything that has happened to everything else, and every possible thing that could happen to you. Listen to me, Bella, I'm telling you, you would be so much safer if you moved to Jacksonville, as far away from me as you possibly can. Your life and your family's life will no longer be in any type of risk, and you could live a happy and healthy life if you just move to Florida. So of course, Bella comes back with her infamous, logical, and reasonable response.
What?
Are you... No. No. How... I don't even know what you're saying. How... What are you talking about? You want me to go away? I can't... No, I can't. I can't just leave you.
Bella, swear to God, you about to piss me off! In the end, Edward and Bella end up going to prom together, and we actually get to see Jacob for one last time.
Are you crashing the prom or something? Do you come with a date?
No. My dad paid me to come talk to you. $20.
Let's hear it.
Just don't get mad, okay? He wants you to break up with your boyfriend. It's just... He said, quote, "We'll be watching you."
Okay, well, tell him thanks.
Okay.
And to pay up.
Okay.
And now it's time for prom! After a brief, cute little slow dance, Bella reveals to Edward that she would actually prefer to become a vampire so that she can just stay with Edward forever.
Edward, why did you save me? You just let the venom spread. I could be like you right now.
You don't know what you're saying. You don't want this.
I want you. Always.
I'm not gonna end your life for you.
I'm dying. Already. Every second I get closer. Older.
It's the way it's supposed to be.
It was this moment that finally put me over the edge with this movie. Because right there, you could have ended it all. All of your problems would have been solved if you would have just bit that damn girl's neck, dude. She would have turned into a vampire, and then all of your problems would have went away. You both love each other and could have been with each other forever. Okay, Bella's gonna die. She's a human, dude. She's gonna be 85. She's gonna have some saggy titties and wrinkles, dude. And Edward, you ain't even gonna be repulsed by her at that point, dude. So she could have lived forever. She could have had her own superhuman, superhero vampire powers to protect herself from the rest of Team Rocket that was still chasing after her. And then everybody would have been able to live happily ever after as vampires. But no, Edward, you had to be a simp. You had to be a softie and ruin it for everybody else. And now, because of it, there's 4 other movies that I gotta get through. Honestly though, overall, this movie was somehow a lot better and also a lot worse than I thought it was gonna be. Like, yeah, the acting and like the special effects and just like the overall, like, you know, technical part of the movie was a whole lot worse than I was actually expecting. But like, story-wise and plot, I found myself deeply engrossed in the storyline, dude. Like, I really was rooting for the dad there, dude. Bella is going to cause me so much emotional stress through this series that I don't even know how I could put it into words with the amount of anger that I'm going to feel towards that woman. Edward will continue to creep me out if he don't stop staring at people, dude. And my boy Jacob absolutely did not get enough screen time. Alright, I was Team Jacob for a reason, so goddamn it, I better see some Jacob in the next one.